everybody, it's Murphy Gray Hunter, and we are here Wednesday, October 2nd. We are here for day 2 for Vlogoween. Ooh, guys. So I was running upstairs because I forgot I had to give y'all show y'all my cup. Every day I'm going to do a different cup. So this is my cup number 2. Ooh, Lord, I almost dropped it. I love this vintage looking sticker. This is a kind of label I would like for my products. Like this, it just says the Town Witch. I love this silhouette right here. Anyway, it just says take one to know one, and it's on both sides. This is like a purple color, and then in the inside it says Witch's Brew with my hot coffee. Do y'all see that steam coming out of there? Ooh, that's hot. Okay. So, I make a witch's brew every year. I'm going to show you how to make it this month. I'm going to show y'all 3 recipes for each month. So I make witch's brew. The original witch's brew that I made is for October. And then I tweak it up for November for Thanksgiving. And then I tweak it up again for Yule. So each month I'll show y'all how I make that recipe. Anyway, so this is my cup. Oh, in case you're wondering, I got this one at Ross for $3.99. Man, Ross has amazing Halloween, like all kinds of Halloween stuff. But the mugs are amazing. Like I said, yesterday was from Spirit. $10 is not a bad price for a really cute mug. But $3.99, guys, they have so many. Okay. So for today's video, I'm going to show y'all how to make a Samhain Oil. Okay, so for the Samhain Oil, I'm going to show you all the ingredients that we're going to be using. But you'll use this oil when you are anointing candles. Like if you're going to anoint a black or a orange candle for Halloween, you can even do red, you can do green, whatever speaks to you for Samhain. For me, I do black and I do orange. So I use this oil to anoint my candles. You can also use this oil to anoint your altar, your tools. You can anoint yourself during the Samhain rituals. You can use it to help with divinations. You can also use this oil to help contact spirits, you know, and loved ones that have passed on. So, I mean like anointing whatever spell work you're doing. So like if you're doing petition papers, you can do the petition paper. Let's just say this is the petition paper. You can anoint the oil here, 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 and here. Literally just put a drop of it and do here, 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 here. Or you can just do the 4 corners or whatever it is that speaks to you. For me, that's what I do. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my petition papers. And then of course I do my my candles. But this oil will be good that you can use on your hands. So when you're doing divination, like before you're gonna do a card reading, you just put like a small amount, like not a bunch, but just a small amount, and rub that into your hands. All that smoke is my incense. You're like, damn, that's some hot coffee. But no, so just rub it in your hands whenever you're gonna be doing any type of divination, spell work, or anything. You can do the same thing. So let me show you what we are going to be using. Going to be using my little bottle. This was once a salad dressing recycle bottle. And the tools I'm going to be using are my mortar and pestle, my handy dandy little spoon, and my little dropper. Okay. Ooh, that is smoking like a smoke. I'm going to move it over here. See, it's on my Buddha. Get over there. Okay, that's better. Let's get it in my eyeballs. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to use. You can use whatever base oil you want, but because this Samhain oil I like to use on my hands for divination, I also have another oil that I will be showing y'all that I use for divination. Whenever I'm doing any card readings or I'm doing ruins or whatever divination I'm going to be doing, I use a little bit of that oil and I rub it in my hands before I start. And don't worry, I'm going to move the phone down so y'all can see what I'm actually making this so y'all can see what I'm doing. So for right now, I'm just keeping it up here so I can kind of talk to you guys. All right, so when making this oil, make sure that the base oil that you're using is going to be an oil that you're okay using. You can use mineral oil, you can use baby oil, you can use any of the oils, like, you know, vegetable oil, if that's all you have. Olive oil, you can, if you use olive oil, make sure it's a really good olive oil, so when you're using it on your hands, it's also, you know, beneficial. You can use grapeseed oil. I mean, there's so many different oils. Just find one that you like and use it. But for this one, I'm going to use just basic mineral oil. I think I got this for 99 cents at my local grocery store. And like I said, I love this because you can use this mineral oil on your skin. And so that's what I like. And I don't use gobs of it, so just little. All right. Okay, so this is the oil I'm going to be using. Now the ingredients I'm going to be using, and I'm going to, as I'm adding them, I'm going to tell you exactly what they are good for. So I'm going to be using, I have my list here. My frankincense. Now, since I don't have the actual frankincense resin, I'm going to use my frankincense essential oil. So here's the thing. If you don't have essential oil or you don't have the powder, so let's just say that I don't have the resin. So, or I don't have the oil, I just have the resin. So you can use a half a teaspoon of dried herbs, dried flowers, resin, whatever it is that you have, you can substitute it for the essential oil. In this case, I don't have the oil blend, so I'm going to use essential oil in its place. Does that make sense? I bought some regular Folgers morning blend. It's really good. All right. So we're going to use frankincense. Frankincense essential oil, or you can use a resin, like I said. It's good for purification, protection, and for consecration. I'm sorry, couldn't think of the word. I was like, concentration? Consecration. So those are, and of course there's other things you can use it for, but I'm just giving you the basic. Since I don't have actual sandalwood, I'm going to be using my sandalwood powder. Now, on my Ganesh altar, all I burn on there is sandalwood. So I save the ashes from the incense that I burn every single day, and I use this. See, I just have sandalwood right here. This stays on his altar on the bottom shelf. So when I go to clean the incense thing out, I just put it in here. That's all this is. So I'm going to use incense ash in place of the sandalwood incense ash in place of the herb. And sandalwood is good for protection. It's good for wishes, healing, and exorcism. And it's also good for spirituality. So if you're doing any type of spiritual work. And then I'm going to use orange. Orange is good for love, divination, luck, money, and happiness. It's good for new beginnings, road openers. So I have two different types of orange peel. So this one here is, I do the long pieces like this. So if y'all are on my Instagram, y'all probably saw when I was doing this. I just get a peeler and I peel all of the skin. It smells so good. And then I just lay it out to dry. So you can have long pieces like this, or you can have little pieces, little chunks. So with this one, I cut instead of using a grater, you know, like my grater to take the skin off, I just use my knife and I cut it right where the white membrane and the fruit is, like right there. So I get thick pieces. And then, let me just show you. And then I just cut them up and then lay them out on a paper towel until they dry, like in little chunks. And I do them different because I do them for different purposes. So if I was going to be using this to shove into mojo bags or putting them into my little holes that I make in candles, these little pieces would work better for me. Or if you're using small bottles of oil, then you would use smaller pieces. So you can do that with any kind of rind. If you have lemon, or if you have lime, you can do the same thing. And I really suggest that if y'all do work with citrus, working with citrus is really good. So definitely get some lemons and limes and oranges and go ahead and do that. You can even do the same thing with grapefruit. Okay, so the next ingredient I'm going to be using, I don't have any lemon because I was going to definitely use lemon. Lemon would have been in here and used for longevity, purification, love, and strength. But since I don't have lemon, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my my oil. When my husband gets off of work tonight, he's going to stop at the grocery store, and I'm going to ask him to pick me up like 4 lemons. And I'm going to go ahead and make me some orange peel and throw some in there. Okay, and the next ingredient I'm going to use is pine, just pine needles. Pine is good for healing, fertility, which we don't want any of that, protection, and it's also good for exorcisms and money. And then I'm going to use ginger. Ginger is good for love, money, success, and power. Remember, it gives your oils or your powder that extra fiery punch, like, because you know ginger is spicy. It gives that fire. We want that. You know, if you don't have ginger, you can use just cinnamon, or you can use dragon's blood. That works really good as well. And then I'm going to use cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for spiritual work, like any type of spirituality work. It's good for success, healing, power, psychic powers, lust, protection, and love. Again, these are just some of the properties. There are more properties, but I'm just kind of letting y'all know some of them. And so you kind of have an idea where I'm going with this. So here's my cinnamon. I just put my powder and my cinnamon sticks all together. Not really a need for me to keep them separate. I buy the ginormous ones from the Asian market, so those have in a bigger container, but the baby ones can go right in there. And last, I'm going to use rose petals. These are my dried rose petals. I have so many bags of different roses. Rose petals are good for love. They're good for psychic powers. They're good for healing, and they're good for divination, luck, and protection. All right, so all of these I'm going to use, and the essential oils that I'm using, other than the frankincense, I'm going to use some sage oil, sage essential oil. And of course, we know sage is good for wisdom. It's good for healing. It's good for protection, and it's good for longevity as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move the camera and then show y'all step by step how I make this. Okay, all right, guys, we're all about ready to start now. So before we get going, let me go ahead and clean my jar, cleanse my jar. I've already cleansed it. Every time I do these, I do it all over again. But I just want to show y'all again a way to cleanse, consecrate your vessels that you're using. You don't want to put something that you're making into a dirty container. And it does, I'm not just talking about dirty as in just, you know, residue from food or whatever. You definitely want to make sure that it's cleansed from any kind of energy that anybody might have put on it, touching it, or just sitting there. So I do some Palo Santo, and I just get my jar and I stick it in there, just like so. Can y'all see that? And I just put my hand over the top so no air can get out. And see all that smoke? Just a very simple way. See how my hands are just covering it up? And when you feel like it has been smoked enough, go ahead and let it all out. Like I do this, I wash my jars, and then I have a spray that I use to cleanse my stuff. So in case you can't use, you know, any type of incense, or you can't use smoke or anything, if you're in a dorm or in a room, parents' house or something, you can't do it, you can make your own spray. In this case, I have this one that I bought. This is just white sage, but I make a lot of these. I buy the spray bottles from the dollar store, and I'll show y'all one of the videos here that you know, that I'm going to be making this month. I'll show y'all how to make a cleansing spray. So in case you can't, you can do the same thing. You can just spray inside just to cleanse it. Look at me. I was trying to do this. Idiot. Okay. So this is ready to go. Now I want to have this open because there are some chunky things that I'm going to be putting in there. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing everything. Normally what I would do would be to mix the ingredients that are kind of hard, you know, to smash. Like if I was using dragon's blood or something that was kind of hard that I needed to smash up, I would do that first. But in this case, everything is pretty much powder. And then the chunky things like the orange and all that, I want it to be chunky. Because like I said, it looks pretty in here when it's all chunky and when it's all chunky, you see the bits flowing around. I like that. And then also, as you're using your oil and you already used like half of your oil, you can go ahead and add more of your base oil in here and get the most out of your product. So besides, this oil is going to last you a long time. All right, so let's go ahead and put some I'm going to put some cinnamon sticks in there. I'm going to put 2 cinnamon sticks. Now again, this is however you put in however much you feel you need. I'm putting in 2 cinnamon sticks, and then I'm going to put it right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and use some cinnamon powder. I'm going to use 2. Since I use the same spoon, I always get about the same amount. I'm going to use 3. That's why I said it's really good to go buy like a little baby spoon or kind of find. The antique stores are really good for having little spoons like this. This was gifted to me, has like a little crystal on top. But you can get like a baby spoon or something. That would work just fine. Now remember, we're using cinnamon here for spirituality work, success, healing, power, psychic powers, and protection. We're going to use all that in here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to use is going to be the sandalwood. Let me see. I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to put everything. As I'm using ingredients, I'm going to put them to the right so I don't get mixed up here. Because you know, I'll be like, what did I do? Put my essential oils. All right, I'm going to use my sandalwood. Now, like I said, if you have the actual sandalwood, great. But I just have the incense residue. So that's what I'm going to use. The ashes. And that worked. So y'all keep your ashes, guys, especially if you use the same kind of ash all the time. You can definitely use it to make things. Okay, sandalwood we're using for protection. We're using for wishes, healing, exorcism, and also for spirituality. Next thing we're going to be using is orange. And I want the big pieces, so I'm not going to use the little chunks. I'm going to use these big ones. Oh, they smell so good. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these right in here because I want some big pieces floating in there. And it just keeps, you know, adding to your, it keeps adding, you know, essential oils and powders and powers to your, their properties to your oil. So I'm going to put just a couple in there to smash. All right. Since I don't have lemon, I'm going to skip on that. But when he does bring lemon, I'm going to put some in here and then I'm going to dry some out. Lemon's going to be for longevity, for purification, love, and it's also going to be for friendship. Those are the things that you can use. Some of the things you can use it for. So we're going to skip that. The next thing is going to be pine. I'm going to use pine needles for healing. You can use it for healing, fertility, protection, exorcism, and money. Now, if you don't have pine needles, and you have an actual pine cone, you can use a pine cone. Just go ahead and I'm going to put some long pieces like this straight in my bottle. If you don't, like I said, if you don't have pine needles, go ahead and use a pine cone. Just break it all up. Break it down. Make sure it's a one that you found like from the wilderness, not like one you bought from the store. Because you don't know if those have been sprayed with anything or, you know, so if not, you can definitely use, you can use the essential oils. Remember, you can substitute any of these ingredients for essential oils and vice versa. If you don't have an essential oil, you can use half a teaspoon of half a teaspoon or more to your liking of the dry ingredient or the flour. Again, this is not Betty Crocker. You are your own Betty. You be your own Betty. I'm so dumb. Be your own Betty and make your own stuff. Make your own recipe. Make it work for you. All right. Now remember, one of the tips that I was saying, after you place each ingredient, you can put your intentions into every single time you put an ingredient, or you can do it afterwards. It's whatever you like. For me, I like to do it every single time I'm done, not after every ingredient. When I'm completely done, that's when I place all my intentions after I have mixed it. And as I'm mixing this, I'm, thinking about what it is that I want from this oil. And then when it's completely done, I put my prayers and chants over it. That's what I do. But you can do it, after each one if you like. We're going to add some ginger. Ginger is for love, money, success. In this case, I want that fiery power, that fiery punch that ginger gives food, and I want it to give to this powder for my oil. Okay, we've already put the cinnamon in here, and I'm going to put some rose petals. Rose petals are good for love, for psychic powers. They're good for healing, divination, luck, and protection. Okay, so I want to make sure I have a little bit of all the colors. So I'm going to put some red ones in here. And each color rose, really, it signifies something different. But overall roses, doesn't matter the color. It's just the flower itself. I'm putting this whole piece like that in there. It's really going to give it a really pretty color. But if you want to break it down into colors, you definitely can. Like if I was just going to do like one for happiness and road opening, new success, abundance, and all that, I would definitely just use yellow ones. Yellow are my favorite color roses. If I was going to do one for healing, I would definitely just use white. You get the picture. Pink for romance and love. Red for passion. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and smash all this up together. All my ingredients. And really, like I said, there's really not too much to smash other than the flowers and the orange peels, because I can smell those orange peels. Okay. Now, if you want to have that type of oil where you just see like flowing bits like this, then don't put any powders in it. If you just want, like you see how some people just have oils and it's just like floating little bits and you see the clear oil. Well, if that's the case, don't put any powders in there, because the powder is going to make it look, dirty. But to me, it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it's going to work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the camera, and I'm going to go ahead and put my prayers and my chants into this. And then I'm going to come back and put everything back in here. And I'm going to add a few more ingredients and then do it again, chant over this again, and then show you what it looks like at the very end. Okay. So now let's go ahead and put all the ingredients in here. And again, when you are making your, oh, this smells so good. When you're making your prayers, your enchantments, or if you're saying psalms over these, your words of power, that's how you need to look at them. Of your words of power, no matter what it is that you're putting in here, it's your intention. You don't have to read anything official that's from a book. You don't have to read something official. You can make up your own. If you write poetry and you want to write something, you do it. If you don't know what to write and you just say, look, this is basically what I want, it's your intentions that's going to fuel your powders, your incense, your oils, any of your craft. You need to keep that in mind. Words are powerful. So it doesn't matter how you say it or in what form. I shouldn't say that. In what form. As long as you're saying what it is that you want and your intentions are very, very clear. Okay, so I have all of that in here. So now I'm going to put my essential oils. I'm going to put my frankincense. And again, with this, it's really up to you on how many drops you put in here. It smells so good. Okay. I'm really bad for giving you measurements and stuff because I'm kind of like the when I cook. I just put in what I feel is good. Like this works for me. Because again, it's not just so much, you know, that you're putting 5 drops of this and 10 drops of this. It's your intent. Okay, so I put my essential oils in here. Now I'm going to put my citrine. Now, you guys know I love to use citrine chips. I like to use these chips. These are crystal chips that I buy. You can buy these at a lot of metaphysical shops. You can get them where they, like, if you have caves, like, you know, when you go visit caves, like you're a child, they sell those there. They also sell them in museums. They sell these on Amazon. They do sell these in the craft store, but the only thing, you want to make sure that these are actual crystals that they're giving you and not just colored rocks. So the reason why I like to put citrine in here, just a few chips in there. The reason why I do that is because citrine is a very powerful crystal. It really helps to manifest anything that you are trying to do, no matter if it's good, no matter if it's bad, no matter what type of oil you're trying to do, or powders that you're trying to do. I really feel that I only place these in mojo bags and in my oils. I don't put these in my powder blends. Like I said, citrine is really good for longevity as well. It's good for manifestation. It's a very neutral type of crystal, removes a lot of negativity. And so that's something that you really want for your oils. So that's why I put them. You don't have to put that if you don't want. And then I'm going to top this off with mineral oil. Look, 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 look. Oh man, this smells good. Because the oils are mixing all together. I can smell them. I'm going to need to put some more oil. Let me grab some more. And guys, don't throw this. These little containers, don't throw this safe. Just put this in some hot soapy water and peel all this up and you have yourself another container. I don't like using plastic containers for, you know, to make my oils, but I will definitely use this to catch like, you know, any kind of rainwater, or if I'm going somewhere and there's some creek water or whatever type of water I'm collecting, because I'm always collecting different waters for my spells. You can use these and you can just put them in, they don't weigh anything, so that would be perfect. Okay, hold on. Let me get some more oil. Let's put some more oil. Okay, I'm going to stop there. You don't really need a lot of oil. But since this will be an oil that I will be selling, definitely want to make enough. Because a little bit of oil goes a long way, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do some prayers over this. And then I'm going to put it over on my altar with my Santa Muerte. And I'm going to have her, you know, help aid me in making sure that this oil is going to give me all the results that I'm asking it. And again, you don't have to do that. That's something that I do since I work with Santa Muerte. And this is something that I love her to help me with. But if you don't, you can just do your own prayers and chants over this. And here you have some oil, some Samhain oil. It smells really good. You definitely can smell the sage and the orange comes through a lot. And the cinnamon. So the longer this sits, the more it's going to smell. It's going to smell good. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter that it looks like this. To me, it doesn't matter. It could look like mud water. And to me, it doesn't matter because I know what this oil is going to do for me when I'm using it in my spell work. Do you want an oil that looks beautiful and has no power? Or do you want an oil that could look like straight swamp water, but it's going to get the job done? For me, I'll choose door number 2. All right, guys, this is my recipe for my Samhain oil. Again, you can use this to dress your candles for your Samhain rituals, your altar tools. You can use it on yourself. You can definitely just get a drop of this, put this onto your hands and rub and get ready when you do divination. You're doing cards. You can use it on petition papers. You know, you can find so many ways to use oil. So, and this will last, you know, this will last me for a little bit. But if you want to make your oils last longer, go ahead and put some vitamin E in here, and that'll help keep them from going rancid. But I use my oils pretty fast, so I only make oils that I know I'm going to be using. So again, if I was only going to be making this for myself, I would have made an oil probably this size right here. Just if I was going to use it just for this Halloween, for the Samhain, this big. But since, like I said, I'm going to be selling some of this, I'm going to go ahead and make it big. And I'm going to give some to my daughter, so she can use it for her stuff too. All right, guys, as always, love you all, and blessed be.